Strange new worlds, strange old worlds, along with a host of massive reprints. Hello, I'm Matthew here on What You've Played, and this is your board game news. Bitewing Games have been on an absolute tear recently, making games that I'm personally very excited in. And the last one got me really good. This new announcement got me right in the feelings, wherever they're kept. Cascadero and Cascadito. This is an upcoming Kickstarter for two brand new Reiner Knizia games. Cascadero is a 2 to 4 player combo chaining game with artwork by the wonderful Ian O'Toole, and we are told that the kingdom is shattered. Oh god. Its towns are divided, and its people are distrusting, which is not something I can personally relate to, I'm sure. The newly crowned Cascadero seeks to reunite the land, but he can't do it alone. Thus, he appoints 4 ministers, that's you and your friends, to visit the people and restore civil harmony. While the ministers are obligated to bring prosperity to the entire land, each of them also has one dedicated responsibility: farming, crafting, mining, and markets. Cascadero, it seems, is all about tile placement and combos, two of my favourite things, and you'll visit towns by placing your envoys adjacent to them, but towns are distrusting of single envoys. So newly placed envoys will only trigger town scoring when they are part of an established group or carry an official seal. It's not a seal, I imagine it's a seal of the El Cascadero himself. You're going to be building long chains of your envoys to achieve synergies and objectives, to establish smaller separate groups of envoys to trigger timely town scoring, and we are promised that, quote, Cascadero provides a wealth of replayability through emergent player interaction, variable boards and tile setups, and an advanced player mode featuring travelling heralds. But this news was for 2 games, and Cascadito is the 1 to 4 player roll and write sibling of its big brother that's meant to retain the challenging combo-tastic core of Cascadero while providing a refreshingly unique and complementary experience. This is a slam dunk no-brainer for me. But I love Knizia games, and Bitewing have proven themselves to me recently with their other Kickstarters for Zoo Vardis, Trailblazers, so I've got to get it. But for another slam dunk, I will point your attention towards a sponsor who, in part, made this episode possible.
October 27th through 29th, Richard Ham of Rahdo Runs Through and I will be among those attending Funacon, a 3-day extravaganza of board, card, and tabletop gaming at the Lane Event Center in Eugene, Oregon. There's going to be a library of hundreds of games to pick and play, D&D with Ivy Tower, games of Cascadia, Challengers, and Wingspan for prizes, vendors, and several special events and challenges, all hosted by Fun Again Games. So, if you're going to be in the area, well, follow the link in this video's description to purchase passes to Funacon and join us for events, contests, and just hang out and play games with our awesome local gaming community. Hope to see you there.
Undaunted has been such a great series of games, one that I feel like blurs the lines between wargame and board game, bringing alive the conflicts in Normandy, North Africa, the skies above Old Blighty and Stalingrad. But now, in a new direction, Osprey have announced the 1 to 4 player Undaunted 2200 Callisto. On the Jovian moon-based Callisto in, of course, the 22nd century, tensions have arisen between the conglomerate of Earth's leading corporations that funded the base and the mining collective tasked with operating it. But who should we trust? Protests have erupted, strikes called, and contracts broken. Private security forces have been hired, industrial mining vehicles repurposed for combat, and long disused military mechs reawoken. The battle for Callisto is about to begin, and we are told that it's time to choose a side. So Undaunted Callisto is a standalone big box game in the Undaunted series, adapting the core gameplay of previous games to a new science fiction setting. We'll be playing either 2-player, 4-player or solo game modes, navigating the barren lunar landscape, manoeuvring to seize dominant high ground positions, and utilising our formidable mechs to gain control of Callisto and its precious resources. Holy heck! I'm excited about this one. It's going to be out sometime next year. Path of Civilization is the next game that caught my eye. This is the 1 to 5 player civilization building game from Captain Games and Fabian Griddle, the designer of the wildly popular deduction game Turing Machine. We are tasked here with taking the reins of our civilization, being sure to, of course, make the choices that will lead to the most prosperity. Research new technologies to improve your nation's science, military strength, further culture and industrialization. Sending out architects and explorers to create wonders, developing military heritage, and using our philosophers to solve the great challenges of history, such as why do we still need to develop a military heritage? In this one, they promise, though I read it more as a threat, that from the very first second, your choices will have repercussions that will spread out until the end of the game, that is played simultaneously and works with a simple card and resource management system. Cthulhu Dark Providence was announced by CMON at their CMON Expo US. That will be a new retheming and reworking of the classic and highly sought out Martin Wallace game, A Study in Emerald. Without too much information being out there yet, what we do know is that this will take A Study in Emerald, which is already Neil Gaiman's short story within the Cthulhu Mythos universe, and transpose it slap bang into the middle of CMON's already Cthulhu Death May Die universe. The original 2 to 5 player A Study in Emerald is all about the tentacle-filled murder mystery fun of a deck building game where you use influence to bid for the right to draft cards and take control of cities, but of course each player has a secret identity. Either a restorationist, that's the word, fighting against the creatures, or a loyalist attempting to defend the status quo. How this new version will fall into the Death May Die universe is still unknown, but we are sure to find out soon. 3 other big games are getting big reprints, starting with the up until now hard to purchase Uwe Rosenberg 1 to 2 player game Oranienburg Canal. Originally from Spielworks, this new version is called simply Canal, thank heavens, and it's coming from Silex. The Oranienburg Canal was built in the 1830s. We all remember it so well. The Havel River was difficult to navigate, so a canal was built to easily gain access to the nearby mills. In Canal, you will build new industries and shape the infrastructure by building pathways, streets, railways, and of course canals, but most importantly are all the bridges that connect the buildings. And to do all this, of course, you have to assess various actions that you must select at just the right moment. This one will be available to demo at Essen, but there's no official announcement of a release date yet. Next, we have Yokohama coming back with a new edition from Synapsis Games, coming next year at Gen Con 2024. I'm very excited about this one. Yokohama is all about taking a small fishing village in the Meiji era all the way to one of the leading trade cities in Japan. Each player is a merchant trying to gain fame as successful businesses, and to do that, you need to build a store, broaden your sale channels, learn a variety of techniques, and of course, respond to trade orders from abroad with a clever Mancala-esque worker placement mechanism. And Synapsis Games are also going to follow up this release with a new edition of Yokohama Roll and Write in 2025 and Yokohama Duel in 2026, both of which have been classically very, very difficult to find. So I'm a happy guy. You can just tell from my face. And then there's a new edition of Food Chain Magnate coming from Lucky Duck Games. This in-depth 2 to 5 player fast food empire building game was originally from Splatterspielen, and the new edition will include the ketchup mechanism and other ideas expansion. The game will remain unchanged other than massive changes to the components, the addition of miniatures and a new milestone tracker as well as a storage solution. This seems to be a one-off deal that can only be got via GameFound campaign, launching in November.
And now for the latest board games that are available to play online in this segment sponsored by Board Game Arena, starting with The Number, a bluffing game where you will have to take a gamble as each turn players secretly write a number from 0 to 999, then simultaneously reveal them. Writing a bigger number awards more points, but it's also a risky bet, since sharing a digit with any of the smaller numbers earns no points at all. As turns progress, there's fewer and fewer possibilities, making each decision more strategic. And also heat, pedal to the metal, which puts players in the driver's seat of intense car races, jockeying for position to cross the finish line first while managing their car's speed and heat. Follow the links in this video's description to learn and play these and hundreds of other board games online at Board Game Arena.
Wondrous Creatures is the new game coming from Bad Comet. This 1 to 4 player game is coming next year. And I'll be honest, it's got evolving meeples that you add to, and that hooked me in. Welcome to the world full of fantastic creatures, the blurb for Wondrous Creatures tells us. We are admirers, creature enthusiasts who will join the journey of forming the world's leading creature reserve. This game is built around their worker placement system, which is interspersed with a hex-based puzzle where deploying workers interact with surrounding icons to bring in resources or cards and works to activate special effects. As the game progresses, special effects are added to the map, and there's more than 100 different creature cards, each with its own ability, which we promise allows for a deep strategic tableau building experience. So I'm looking forward to finding out what a lot of that means, but it looks beautiful and seems pretty cool to me. Star Trek Into the Unknown has been announced as the new 2 to 6 player space Star Trek miniatures game for WizKids coming next year. We are told to teleport to the bridge of Star Trek's most legendary starships as we launch an epic adventure across the galaxy, which sounds promising. And to do all this space battling, we need to choose our officer, deploy our crew, explore the galaxy, navigate anomalies, just avoid the anomaly. Position our ships to strike or negotiate terms with the enemy. And you can play, of course, as Starfleet or the Vorta and the Jem'Hadar. You decide how to handle tense mission objectives and unexpected complications. To begin with, I thought this looked like a straight up combat game, but there is an extensive campaign narrative to work our way through where our decisions matter, affecting the outcomes of your unique story. And there are already expansions in the pipeline with new missions and new ships, and the models themselves are meant to be the most detailed Star Trek ship models in tabletop gaming. Say that 17 times. All designed to scale. I will be honest. I've been honest the whole time, but now I've said that I'll be honest. The more I found out about this one, the more excited I got. I love Star Trek, and this could be the adventure I'm looking for. Thank you so much for joining me for another round of board game news. If you're at Essen, have a great time. Paula and I will be there for the Watch It Play team and would love to see you there. If you want to see us more here, then you can. You can continue your journey with Watch It Played over here to the Board Game Buyer's Guide with Chaz. And I'll see you soon.